Didn't mean what I told you, but you took it to heart. Wish I could take it back to get a new start. I apologize at least 100 times. You never heard my perspective or took my advice. But I put all the problems in a pot, then I stirred. I said what I said, what I did was a blur. And it's just a bad habit, maybe it's just a curse. Now our friendship's on Do Not Disturb. I'll throw fuel on the fire, burn the bridge to the ground. You're no longer required. I don't wanna see you around. I tried to fix what was broken, but you made up your mind. I gave you all my reasons, then you pushed them aside. Guess it wasn't enough. When it rains, it floods. Left me drowning here neck deep, dragged me through the mud. You act like I stabbed a knife in you. I cut so deep, I went all the way through. If you gaslight me, then I'm a fool. No more drama now, no more shots to shoot. I'll throw fuel on the fire, burn the bridge to the ground. You're no longer required. I don't wanna see you around. I'll throw fuel on the fire, burn the bridge to the ground. You're no longer required. I don't wanna see you around. Oh my God, I just said my piece. So tonight I'ma sleep like a baby. 'Cause no, I care what you think of me. Come and think of it now. It's all buried. I'll throw fuel on the fire, burn the bridge to the ground. You're no longer required. I don't wanna see you around.
Good evening, little guys. We're doing a little bit of a late one today. Okay, we're doing a little bit of a quickie. All right. I had to work a little late this evening. Got home, ate a salad, took a poop, and now I'm here. I was so eepy that my eyes were closing. Okay, but I heard Brian had a little something something. He had a little posterino on El Internete. Okay. Which means that I needed to come here and do something about it. This is a quickie right after the salad. Yeah, dude. Where do you think the dressing comes from? What, you think they make that shit in a factory? No, when they say it's farm fresh, they mean it. That's fucking what a foul statement, man. That's a foul thing that I just said. Oh shit. I was like in my PJs too, dude. I was literally in my PJs. Dude, my light won't work. My light's fucked. Dude, is this light cooked? Could it be cooked? It might be cooked. I might need to get a new one, dude. That's a shame. I hope not. I've had that for a long time though, okay? Diesel's officially in a dark place. Yeah, dude. I think I am. I think my light's cooked. Fuck. Fuck, dude. It's lasted a long time. Like a good few years. Like a good few years. Oh, I forgot I had that patch on that zit on my head. Fuck. Though as you guys can tell, my Korean skincare routine is still on lock, okay? I was researching different dude, Korean skincare is goated, okay? The Korean skincare people know what they're talking about because I've been exploring the world of mask, okay? Of like different things I could put on my face because I'm looking for pore control. And they got like tons of things, dude. I really need to be working on my pores, so I'm gonna be doing that next, okay? SMH, I just thought it was a tiny dot of light. No. Salad, Dookie, great way to start your poetry journey. We were talking about like how you can do so much. I've been talking about when I get home, like I'll eat my dinner while in Discord because they're like watching a show at the time. Diesel, did you see the new Game of Thrones spinoff? Well, considering it's about the length of a long movie, I'm going to be waiting for it all to come out and then just watch it. Unless it's like ass, I guess. I don't know. I'm surprised you took this long to get into masks. I feel like John Chairs rattled off about it not too long ago. I mean I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm late to the game. I heard of a guys new brain rot term just dropped. New brain rot. Did you guys hear this word low Kirkenually? Like low key Charlie Kirk genuinely? It's all three of those words put together. Low Kirkenually. What does that mean? Am I actually getting unk? Am I getting the unkitis, dude? Am I approaching that like that space and time? Am I low Kirkenually done, chat? Am I low Kirkenually sounds like a you're low Kirk Kepstein yellowy unk. I'm sorry, what? You're low Kirk Epstenually kunk. Try saying that 3 times fast. Are phrases supposed to low Kirkenually is pretty easy. I can say low Kirkenually, but low Kirk Epsteinenually is not catching on. Okay, we're not doing that. I'll do low Kirkenually, okay? Because I low Kirkenually can do that. And I also kind of get it. It's just like we're just like butchering the phrase low key or like I can low key do that real easy. No cap, for real for real. Like that mid like that older zoomer speak. Like I can do that. So I can pick up low Kirk annually. I don't think low Kirk annually is gonna enter my vernacular. You know, I don't think that's happening. But I'd try. I could try. I could have it try and enter the vernacular. Stop saying low Kirkley. I low Kirkley can't stand all the low Kirkley. It's low Kirkley annoying. You know, if you say Charlie Charlie Kirky 3 times in your fucking mirror, that Erica Kirk will shoot fireworks right behind you. It's true. It's true. Go do it now. Say Charlie Kirky. I just took the perky in a mirror in the bathroom with the lights off. And Charlie Charlie Kirky will be right there. Guys, so remember how I was saying that Erica Kirk was going to give birth to the Antichrist? We're doing a new thing. We're doing a new thing in honor of Charlie Kirk. We're going to massacre his legacy by instead saying that Charlie Kirk was a fictional person, that if you say his name 3 times, he appears to scare you in your mirror. We're going to replace Bloody Mary with Charlie Kirky. We're going to do that, okay? And we're just going to treat it as fact. Like, we're going to bring it up in conversation, and then when people try to confront us on this, we need to present it as fact. And then after enough times of us, like, forcefully saying that this is true to people, eventually people will believe it, okay? If you just lie in a group large enough, eventually it's just truth, okay? This is how you control the system. This is how you win the game. We just all need to agree to commit this lie to the cultural zeitgeist, and we can have it infiltrate every single piece of society, okay? Like, we can low Kirkenually make this happen. Like, for real. Candace Owens believes Charlie Kirk was a time traveler. I think Candace Owens, dare I say it, I think Charlie Kirk and Candace Owens hooked up. That's what I think. You see those text messages? That man was in love with her. They were in love, okay? Watch out, Diesel. Templar will throw a hissy fit if you do that. Dude, you've been in battle against him. Unfortunately, I don't beat the unemployed. That's 2025, Diesel. It's too pathetic to beat a man who's denying himself welfare because he doesn't believe it exists. The thing is with Templar is, like, you just know that there's only one of two extremes with his physiology, right? He is either like the skinniest string bean with Asmongold-like features, or he is fucking gigahuenormous, okay? There is no in between. like I just don't. If I enjoy the occasional VTuber, but he partakes in it in like a way that is like dare I say problematic, you know? Yeah, speaking of tactical, he made 3 videos trying to bait Charlie into a debate over his take on Renee Good in the Minneapolis ICE shooting. Listen, man. There's nothing I can say that won't get me TOS. There's nothing I can say that won't get me TOS. You know? But, like, you know, if it was me and Tactical Templar, I mean, ICE would shoot me, I guess, you know? There's nothing I can say. Everything funny I want to say about Tactical Templar is just like it's not even a thinly veiled act of malice. It's just me saying I just wish death upon you, I guess, right? Like, I hope that Tactical Templar is walking down the street to go get his fat shot drug from the pharmacy, and he gets hit by a semi-truck there. Erica Kirk got in the way of true love, SMH. I heard Usha Vance is pregnant again. Can we just say that it was Charlie Kirk's baby, even though there's no way for that to be the case? They sucked the semen out of the dead Charlie Kirk's balls and put it inside Usha pants. Just borrow the wise words of Q's hood ornament. Remove yourself from the census. Charlie Kirk getting more action posthumously than y'all. Charlie Kirk inhabits more space in my brain and verbal existence, dead than alive. He's actually served more purpose being dead. Like, it's actually good for everybody that Charlie Kirk died. You know, when you think about it. It's done nothing but help tons of people's careers. It's provided a lot of material for Candace Owens. It's provided a new window of pivot in political discourse. It's given Erica Kirk a reason to make good on her fireworks investment. Are you low Kirkley serious? Yes, yes. He's given more funny humor associated with his existence post-death. Who's next? I made a prediction at New Year's that Kanye West would die this year, but I don't think that one's gonna happen. But yeah, I think Joe Biden's going. I think he's done. I think his time is up. I think it's happening. I think this is the year. And then we'll all be voting for President Hunter Biden. the first president that we know has done cocaine. Yeah, you literally Charlie Kirk is you can kill the man, but not the idea. But instead of like the idea being what he intended, it's just like a series of non sequitur jokes about his name, you know? So his entire existence is just terrible brain rot memes where he's fighting P. Diddy with Jeffrey Epstein, and then they like throw it back with Albert Einstein, you know? Clinton absolutely did cocaine. Yeah, but I don't know that, okay? That I don't, well, like, we know that, but, like, we don't know that, right? Like, it's not written in the annals of history, you know? Is he this generation's Franz Ferdinand? No, he is not. He is not. Look, unless things get really bad, he's not this generation's Franz Ferdinand. But we're not there yet. I think people think we're there yet, but I don't think we're there yet. Plus, by the way, let's not be eating those words. I'll be saying that this week, and then next week, all of a sudden, I'm going to be deployed to my first tour in Greenland. So
I was just watching the part 1 VOD. The entire time I was not only thinking that this guy is the perfect lolcow live candidate, but I was also thinking that he probably believes Destiny is innocent.
I mean, he can be both those things. Those things are not incongruous with one another, you know? Things can be two things, as they say. I do believe that he could be a wonderful lolcow live candidate. But also in the same respect, outside of this drama, does this guy have anything milkable aside from being, like, sad? It's like, it's not like he has any, like, characteristics that make him... I don't know. I guess it depends. We're in the early stages, guys. We're in the early stages. I'm trying to make a judgment call on whether or not I should invest in Brian Coin or not, right? Like, either Brian Coin could go to the moon after all this Redditor stuff, or Brian Coin could fucking crash down and this was just a pump and dump, okay? So it remains to be seen. Right now, I'm very hesitant on investing in Brian. I haven't seen the market indicators that Brian has longevity. But, you know, I'm kind of feeling out the waters with this stream right here. I'm trying to see whether or not he, low Kirkenually, has something to offer as, like, a piece of content for the society. Why'd Wings get booted again? Short answers only if anybody has them. Beats me, buddy. Beats me. I didn't even know he got booted again. I don't even know who's on those shows these days. Apparently somebody likes it. I guess if I just wanted to watch, like... country bumpkins yell at each other, you know, I guess I'd watch Lolcow Live. I don't even know what they do on there. Pretty sure Wings got kicked because he hit his wife, but isn't he back? Isn't he a better man? He was in a dark place when that happened, is what I thought. I thought he was in like a, you know, he was going through it. I don't know, man. Did you guys see the new I've been perusing twitter.com chat. There's a new thing to be annoyed about. So there was a Warhammer release recently. As you guys know, I'm a bit of a Warhammer guy. I might have invested quite deeply in it as a franchise. Okay, it's almost like I run a store for this. But I heard about the new Custodes release coming, and the new Custodes release has come. Anyway, the reason I'm talking about this is because it does become a little bit of drama, okay? But I think for the point of understanding, right? You guys need to understand what's happening in 40K right now. So this is the recent release.
The Primarch Reborn.
This is a big release, right? So at the end of any edition of 40K, they do a big narrative campaign. So you buy these books, right?
I desperately want to get the new Custodes box in HH.
Yeah, me too. I do own some Custodes. It is possible that I do a Custodes army because you don't really need a lot, you know?
Demands the impossible.
But at the end of an edition, they always do a campaign. And so this campaign is following up on after Space Marine 2. Which this is the first time this has really happened, where they have like a cast of characters that you're just kind of following in the series. I mean, I guess spoilers for Space Marine 2. The story's not really that interesting. But yeah, the guy in this, what's his name? Titus is promoted to, I think, captain in the 1st Legion. I'm probably wrong on that.
They await
But he gets a promotion basically, and that means that he can associate and spend time. Second, okay, thank you. It means that he can associate and spend time around important characters in the franchise, right? The second chapter. Okay, so if you played Space Marine 2, he like runs into fucking Marnius Calgar and like really important characters. And in the 500 worlds, I think he's going to interact with, like, important figures like fucking Rebute Gilliman.
presence, my lord.
But this looks peak, by the way. This whole animation is peak.
The 500 worlds of Ultramar. In the 10,000 years between his death and rebirth, how many worlds have been scoured by the archenemy? Devoured by the monsters of the hive mind, sacrificed on the altar
but
of
for the game,
exterminatus.
these are kind of big deal events, right? Because every time one of these things happen, there's like a huge shakeup in the world. Last time this happened, Primaris were introduced. We had a whole bunch of shakeups in the franchise. At the start of, was it at the start of 10th? At the start of 10th, we got the Votann, which the Space Dwarves came back, right? And you guys might be thinking, Diesel, none of this has to do with the Reddit mod. This is all cringe and boring. Well, too bad. This is my fucking stream, so buckle up, buddy. All right?
Time.
I need to stop saying buddy. I'm not a fan of the word buddy. If you're over 50 and you say buddy, you're just like a cheeky old guy. But if you're under 50 and you say buddy, you're actually just being a condescending asshole.
Fighting for a golden age that can never dawn again.
Welcome home. Rise, Demetria Titus, Master of the Watch, Captain of the Second Company, Warden of Ultramar!
Being Warden of Ultramar is also a pretty big fucking deal, by the way. So Ultramar is like is in the Ultima Segmentum, and so Ultramar is like its own little fiefdom within inside the greater Imperium, right? So the Imperium is ruled by like the high houses and the Emperor and all that stuff, and then there's like Rabute Gilliman's like little 500 worlds, which are his, and he's kind of like the guy who's in charge of that. And if you happen to be within Ultramar, I'm probably butchering some of these names, right? Or I'm getting some of the terms wrong, but the broad strokes I'm definitely know that I'm correct on. But if you're in like those worlds that belong to Rabute Gilliman, you're living a pretty good life, statistically speaking, for the untold teeming billions of people that live in the Imperium.
The Primarch Reborn demands the impossible. But only in death does duty end.
By the way, he's got a new miniature, and it looks really nice, and I do want to get it, okay? God, I don't even like it. Dude, okay, you know what? Titus makes the Ultramarines cool. Titus has kind of sold me on the Ultramarines. What a beautiful little sculpted setup they got here for this, too. What a beautiful one. Fucking phenomenal. God, that looks so good. God. The heavy metal paint team over at GW kills it with all of these little displays. God. So nice. So nice. It's so cool to get character models for like characters I've interacted with. I know there's like Uriel Ventress and like tons of these other guys, but like sometimes you read a book and you can't really like feel the guy being a miniature. Like the concept of there's a character called Belisarius Call, for those of you that don't know. He's kind of like the Oppenheimer of the setting. I guess that's the weirdest. Yeah, he's like an Oppenheimer type character where he like invents things that are like really bad, but also he's a good guy, sort of, kind of. The way that you explore 40K is through the perspective of the Imperium. They're not the good guys, but they are the protagonist of the setting. Okay? How much are those minis going to cost you, Diesel? I think the pack that Titus is in is like $80, which is like pretty like it's like middle of the road if we're talking like a unit of characters. But yeah, like everybody is it's like $90 for 6 or 7 dudes. That's actually pretty fucking, I mean, it's bad, but it's not unheard of. But this is like a big campaign thing. I know a lot of people are really excited for it because when I play 40K, and I do play 40K fairly regularly, but what I like about 40K when I play it on the tabletop is that kind of narrative experience. I'm kind of there for that fun time and that like the extravagance of the battle. I'm not there to play competitively. Some people play competitively, but stuff like this is what I'm excited about, okay? It seems changing to a morning shift suits your streaming schedule more. I'm so happy. You're about 20 minutes behind, but yippee. Well, like, sometimes I kind of wish that I could stream in the morning, but I know nobody would watch, so that's why I do it now. But which team are the hot baddies? I want those ones. The Sisters of Battle are pretty hot. But you know, we've got a new list of baddies, by the way, because there is some drama. This happens like every occasionally. When there's like nothing, by the way, this is all grifting bullshit. I had a conversation today. They actually bought a bunch of fucking Space Marines from me today. But I was speaking to some folks who had just moved to my area, and he had to give up all of his armies because he moved across country. And Custodes are a pretty good army if you're like, I want to just get into it, right? because Custodes, you only need a few miniatures in order to play them on the tabletop. Okay. So these are the new Warhammer Horus Heresy Custodes, which I'm certain you'll probably be able to play in 40K based off of what I'm seeing. Yes, they have 40K rules. They said so on the website. So yeah, these all used to be in resin. And for those of you that don't play the tabletop, many of these units used to be exorbitantly expensive. Okay, the Claudius Grav tank was really fucking expensive in resin. And I'm very glad these guys are in plastic, because I've been looking for an army that's easy to paint, that I could bring to a table pretty easily. And like, I don't want to spend more than like $800 on a new army. Okay? Because buying a Warhammer army is expensive. And obviously this is not something I'm going to drop like tomorrow. I don't make that kind of money. But like, I am looking at this because Custodes are much easier to get into, because I need much fewer of them. And I have a huge backlog. I have a bunch of Space Marines. I have a bunch of the Space Wolves. They're all primed and ready to go. But I need to paint these. And they're not even mine. It's like over wasn't it over 300? Depends. Where the wham on? Well, you see, you might not have noticed, Cosmic, but some of those were women, okay? Some of those were women, okay? Oh, here we go. Oh my god. Yeah, so Custodes, okay, let me tell you, first of all, the fake drama that the grifters, okay? The fake drama that the grifters are doing, which by the way, they're doing it again about the female Custodes again. Because of this release, Any Demon and like all of these other guys are making videos again about how Warhammer's gone woke. Again. All right? And they're bitching about the female Custodes again. They're just doing the same exact thing they were doing before. Okay? The Custodes drama is a nothing burger. Yes, it is. Okay, let me tell you what the real drama here is. Look at the Custodes guards, chat. They are huge. They're huge. And they've always been big. The Custodes have always been big. Okay? There is an insane amount of size creep on these guys. Every time GW has been doing resculpts of older miniatures and bringing out new versions of old stuff, they get huge. Primaris are bigger than old Space Marines. Fucking everything they're bringing out is bigger than it was before. These Custodes are humongous compared to their old sculpts. They're big, all right? And I the scale part of this is definitely a thing for me. I feel like they might be a little too big, all right? I love giant women. Okay, me too. I love giant women too. But, like, I need to fucking paint these things. Okay? I mean, better detail. So here's why they're making them bigger. Okay, here's why they're making them bigger. It's because it's easier to paint, all right? Like, they're easier to paint the bigger they are. So, like, if I'm printing miniatures, I will scale up my prints because I can more easily paint on a slightly bigger miniature. But then by that point, you know, I'm getting something that's like the size of like a paint bottle, right? And this is already on the big side if we're talking about a miniature, right? You should make lore videos on Warhammer. You sound very knowledgeable on the series. Well, I mean, I have the tabletop channel that I do, but I know that I don't know enough 40K lore to be that knowledgeable on it. Granted, a lot of these guys just go on Wahapedia and then like take the Wikipedia article that's on that thing and then make a video on it. Or the video is 50% an ad for some raffle crap, and the other half is them being an annoying Australian. I'm talking about Major Kill. I'm not even gonna be like, I'm not even gonna subtweet about it. Okay, Major Kill, what the fuck happened? You're killing me, brother. Can't even tiptoe about it. The energy is just bad from Major Kill these days, man. I don't even know. It's like a 10-minute video, 5 minutes of it is an advertisement. That's the annoying part. That's why he's called Major Kill pretends to be all high and mighty, but then sells Warhammer pinups. It's not even that. It's not even that. I like Warhammer pinups. What is it? Bricky's podcast, Adeptus Ridiculous, is pretty good, and they do a lot of pinups. I like a pinup. I like muscly people. Yeah, I like all those things. But Major Kill brings an energy to it that is just like killing me. And it used to not be like that, but it just seems like he's very focused on trying to sell me something these days. And that's kind of turned me off from his videos, you know? Especially when you have like guys like Luton or who's the chubby guy with the beard? Yeah, I'm really narrowing it down that way. Wow, a chubby guy who's into Warhammer with the beard. Diesel. Oh, who could that be? Wes Hammer. Yeah. Wes Hammer's the one I was thinking of, right? There are other guys. Have you seen Crack Duck? I like Crack Duck. I like Crack Duck. He had a take. He had a take on like the Votan that I was like, brother, you don't get it. I was like, you don't get it, man. But I have seen Crack Duck. He's another good one. But that's just why I'm like not. That's why Major Kill has really turned me off about it. I'm okay on Valrak. I'm about the same. But yeah, some of these fucking custodies are women, and they're re-grifting. They're just repackaging the same grift and bitching about the custodies being women again. But really what they should actually be bitching about is that the custodies and all the miniatures in 40K are closing in on action figure size, okay? I've been watching, what is it? Paul is bad at stuff. Pancreas No Work is great. Mr. Bones. Yeah, oh yeah, I remember you telling me about that, Mac. I remember you saying that. But yeah, so it's been a rehash of the same drama because of the new release. And I wish I had said that this would happen at the second they would do the resculpts. That way I had a I told you so. But there is this beautiful post about it. So actually there's two posts about it. What is it? There we go. That's what I just watched. Hold on. So, ooh, the Custodes battle group. Maybe I do pick this up. This is pretty good. Do I get this? This is kind of gas. This is kind of not that bad of a deal. You gotta understand, I'm comparing this against the old, like, resin kits. This would be mad expensive. Like, I cannot, for those of you that don't participate in this hobby, this would be a very expensive set if it was in resin. Okay? You could easily buy two for 2,000 points, not gonna lie. Fuck. Greg, you're not helping me here. You're not helping me. Should I get into Warhammer? The question to that is unequivocally yes. All right. But yeah, so they released an article about the female Custodes in response, which I've never seen them so openly like Painting waifus is more fun. I paint a lot of waifus, guys. I paint a lot of waifus. But yes, so they ended up answering the questions about the new Custodes. And they said, let's address the telemod in the room, shall we? Yes, some of those awesome new Custodes miniatures are female. And again, I just want to say that these guys are humongous. Like, even more so than their prior sculpts. I don't have any Custodes out right now. I have, like, a small regiment of them somewhere. I need to go find them. And I kit bashed some female Custodes then. But these Custodes are fucking huge. And so they responded to it. And they said, is this a new thing? Well, yes and no. Up until this point, those few Legio and Adeptus Custodes miniatures we've seen without helmets have been obviously male, and the rest have been armored, so it's hard to tell. The new range has a mix of both male and female Custodes. Have you changed the lore? I thought all Space Marines and Custodes were male. Space Marines, yes. Lore-wise, Space Marines are made from human males and willing aspirants or unwilling conscripts on the cusp of adolescence. They are subjected to a series of horrific trials, and the strongest emerge remorseless killers. Their humanity stripped away, so they can serve as living weapons in the Emperor's armies. There are no female Adeptus Astartes. So, by the way, I think that this is a very clear line in the sand that GW has made here. So a lot of what you're going to see from the grifters, and I'm not even going to show them, I'm just telling you what they're going to say. They're saying Warhammer's gone woke. And they're saying today the issue is female Custodes. Tomorrow the issue is going to be female Adeptus Astartes. I don't think that's going to happen. And this is one of those clear examples of why I don't think it's going to happen. There's also a few other reasons for that based off of what I've seen from looking at the miniature space anyway. I noticed that a lot more people are into Age of Sigmar now, even aside from that. The Sisters of Battle are there, and they're being fed very well. I think GW realizes how good the Sisters of Battle are as a female analog with the Space Marines. They're their own thing, but they are there, and they're pretty good. And yes, there are the Sisters of Silence. We already have the Sisters of Silence. Yeah, I mean, yes. And they're hot. Yeah, and Sisters are super popular. And there is a you know how they make memes in 40K and they're like, the guy who plays Nurgle smells. The guy who plays Sisters is a sex pest. The guy who plays Emperor's Children is a sex pest. But the reality is that like the Sisters of Battle are not a girlfriend army. That's what I've seen a lot. That Sisters of Battle are a girlfriend army. They're too tiny. The Sisters of Battle have very spindly limbs. They make them very hard to paint. Okay, so if you're a new painter or you're getting your partner into the hobby, you wouldn't get them Sisters of Battle. Okay. Most women I've talked to love Tyranids. I met Astra Militarum player. She has like a Krieg army, and she is a woman because because she is she. But that's like a crazy one. You never hear about that. That was actually like kind of surprising. But yeah, a lot of those like analogs of like, this is this kind of person who plays this kind of army. Yeah, Black Templars players are like Tactical Templar, aggressively racist. Yeah. Like those are all like memes, and I'm certain those people exist, but I've interacted with like hundreds of people that play 40K. Hundreds, guys. And I can tell you, it is these stereotypes are not true. All right. Like, I played against a guy who plays Drukhari, and he was the biggest homebody ever. Okay. He was just like a chill guy. All right. He was not like a fucking coke sniffing sex fiend. My ex was a Krieg and Black Templar player. Well, considering they're your ex, I don't know what. Is that a red flag for you now? Were they racist? But they go on to say custodies are not space marines. So this is another thing that I've seen come out of the grifters' mouths recently, is that they say that the custodies and space marines are kind of like analogous with one another. The difference between them is so humongous. They kind of give like a short answer here that the custodies are created bespokely and by the Emperor. But there's a lot more to it than that, obviously. But there's a lot of reasons that the custodies are not the space marines and the space marines are not the custodies. So they're very different, okay? They've always been something separate, and only tourists think they're the same. And the only reason tourists think they're the same is because they kind of looked the same. But I think we're starting to get to the point where custodies look very different from space marines, which is good. But aren't the custodies made from the sons of Terran noble houses? Yes, some of them are. The Emperor is all about symbolism and authority. So those pre-unification patriarchal houses that passed their kingdoms down from firstborn sons had those sons taken and remade as guardians of the Emperor. That is still true. But that was not the only source of recruitment. Other methods might have been equally overt, others far more secretive. Noble daughters could have also been taken, and at some point you run out of noble houses even after you've conquered all of Terra. The inexorable, all right, sorry guys, I'm pulling a Nick Shirley there. I don't know what that fucking word is. War machine of the Imperium still requires a constant churn of recruits. Inexorable. Okay, sorry. I will say this is kind of like a hand-wavy answer in this article as somebody who participates, but the general consensus I've seen from people who actually know about the lore is that if a noble house, so they were taking the firstborn sons of noble houses, but if in place of a firstborn son they had a firstborn daughter, they would take the firstborn daughter anyway, you know? You say spindly limbs. Have you ever tried painting a Kingdom Death monster mini? Uh-huh. Come on. I'm Diesel, the Gooner guy. Well, maybe in a post-Turkey Tom world, that's probably not the best thing to say, huh? Now is it? But but yeah, I have a few Kingdom Death miniatures, and yeah, they're really fucking difficult. They're difficult to put together, difficult to paint. Difficult to everything. It's a miserable time putting them together, by the way. I hate putting miniatures together, but that was rough. I'm Diesel, the Gooner guy, FPS Diesel 2026. But yeah, so like a lot of the reasoning for why female custodes exist is just like the same reason that the men were taken is the same reason the women were taken. They never gave an explicit answer for why there can't be women custodies, and they never gave an explicit answer for women custodies. So it was kind of like one of these holes that existed in the lore that you were just able to fill. And honestly, it's like fine. It does present itself for some pretty interesting storytelling. I would love to see a story about the... Now, the creation of a custode is like very secretive, right? Because they're very bespoke and you can't make any more. But like a story about that kind of the houses on Terra and their daughter, I would be interested in seeing that. I'd be interested in those political intrigue stories, which GW and the Black Library, that's their publishing arm, would be very interesting. So I'd be very interested to see what the kind of like political intrigue story surrounds these women that end up as custodies. Because it sounds like there's a little bit of like some kind of conspiracy or maybe some kind of play at hand that led to the creation of these people. Clearly the Emperor didn't care, because if the Emperor had a hand in this, he knew that they were women when they were standing in front of them. He would just know that. Even if they didn't look like women, he would know that because he's fucking a living god. So clearly it didn't matter once they were there. But how they ended up there sounds like an interesting story to me, and I'd love to get more of that. When you learn about the like Terran houses and the powers that exist on Terra, kind of ruling the Imperium in the Emperor's place as he sits upon his carrion throne, just lifeless bones. Dare I say it, lifeless bones. But when I think about those like squabbling lords that Rabute Gilliman has to like kind of bring together, I like it. I love those kind of political intrigue stories. I like that stuff from 40K. I like these kind of like despotic, shitty lords having deals with chaos and all of this stuff. So seeing how they manipulate their station and end up with like a daughter that ends up being a Custodes or something sounds interesting. There's a lot there, okay? There's a lot there. They like introduce a new question when they introduce female Custodes, which I think was the right answer. So I am interested to see where else you could take that. I'd love to have more added because it introduces this really interesting question. It would make sense lore-wise if, like, at first they only took firstborn sons, but as the meat grinder devoured more, they needed more bodies. Well, yeah, that is kind of what they imply here, too. There's also some kind of, like, implication that, like, whatever they use to create the Custodes, they can't use anymore. But yeah, I like there's so much here. There's a lot. The only real thing that I think is an actual issue is that these things are huge. They really are big. I think if you play them on a tabletop, they're probably huge. They're really big. There's no way they're not. I'll have to pick one up. I'll try and get one. I'll try and, you know, twist my brother's arm to get me one. My birthday is coming up, you know. You're gonna run out of room on the tabletop. They're 40 millimeter bases. What? That's insane. Yeah, man. And by the way, I've brought up the female Custodes thing to people in real life because sometimes I like to gauge people on like internet stuff. Nobody gives a fuck. Nobody cares. It's strictly an online thing. The guys that complain about this don't go to stores and play. They don't go anywhere and play. Because nobody want to play with them because they're miserable. But like everybody I play is like, it's pretty interesting. It'd be interesting to see where it goes. Nobody feels like 40K is in a position that's bad right now. I don't really hear that. I mean, they might feel that GW is expensive or nickel and dimey. That's true. But I think lore-wise, I haven't heard a lot of complaints. I've heard a lot of good things about the lore. I think they're in a really good position right now. I don't know where it's going to go, but, like, shit, there's a lot of stuff you could get stuck in on. Vaults of Terra, by the way, really good. I was talking about, like, the political intrigue. Vaults of Terra is a great example of one of those books if you want to get into 40K. What's another good book? I've read a couple of these, okay? So these are all new. A lot of these are new. Ravener is really good, but I'd read Eisenhorn Omnibus first. The Eisenhorn trilogy, yeah, everybody says the Eisenhorn trilogy. With good reason, okay? With good reason. Farsight, Crisis of Faith is a pretty good read. Horus Rising, if you want to read all the million fucking Horus Heresy books, yeah, go right the hell ahead. I don't recommend it. Night Lords, Infinite and Divine, these are all great ones. I highly recommend Infinite and Divine. If you just want like a little bit of like maybe there's a little bit of yaoi. Maybe there's some yaoi between these robots. Maybe you want a little bit of that, you could get that. Caiaphas Cain. If you wanna read a book about a guy who fucks, that's also pretty good. God, there's so many. There's so many. It's not even pulling all of them up in here. There's a lot of new books. The noir detective novels for 40K are pretty good. Oh my god. There's so many, guys. There's so many. I highly recommend. Listen, the books are the lowest point of entry. If you're like, I want to read more in 2026 don't give a fuck about like how like smart the book makes you look. If you're like, I'm a little bit interested in it, pick it up. Pick it up. For sure. He Horused his heresy all over the end. Well, actually, he Horused the heresy for like 60 books. And then they collect all 40,000 Warhammers. And then that's it. So I should reread Twilight again? No. You should read The Infinite and the Divine. Okay? Because it's actually really good. It's like actually just a good book. All right? But there you go. That's fucking my Discord server. All right, I forgot to... my stupid fucking Stream Deck isn't working right now. I'm gonna make a fucking Warhammer chat because I want to do that. And I'm gonna do it now. I'm making it as we speak. There we go. Boom. I made a Warhammer chat. So I'll share my book recs there. And we could talk about it in the Little Guys Incorporated. All right. Let's get on to the fucking Reddit mod. All right. Let's get on to the Reddit mod. So Brian did a new video. I knew this was coming. It was a little quick. Okay, I'm kind of annoyed that Brian moved so quickly. I don't know dick about Warhammer, but I like the stream to support the man's passion. Yeah, so Brian is radioactive today, and he is responding to Charlie, and this hobbit has fallen into his hobbit hole. He's got an AI bookshelf here in his hobbit dimension. God, I can't. His face is so funny. He's like 25 going on 60. It's crazy.
I enjoyed making it almost as much as I enjoyed making this one.
Is he gonna like, okay, so is he like doing the thing where he's like, I am not owned, I'm in on the bit, guys? Is that what he's doing?
In this video, I will be clarifying some of my previous points, as well as responding to some very valid points that Moist Critical brought up.
It was your mistake.
Is the background? Yeah, it does look AI generated to me. He works in the AI industry.
Buddy. Fucking Spez wasn't behind you massaging your shoulders as you signed the deal with $1 Million Fan Show, which
I moved too quickly.
Dude, his aura changed from green to blue. This is a new Brian.
Didn't verify enough stuff. I didn't take responsibility that I should have as the top moderator of a major subreddit. This was my fault. And because of that, I got in a way that was probably justified in retrospect, but that's from my perspective. What about from
This is where the Hobbit from Smiling Friends lives.
the company's perspective? A company should be responsible for every aspect of its business. A company...
Yeah, but like, you're saying it like you're part of the... You're the customer, man. You're the customer. If you can use a product for free, you're the customer. Like, you're treating it like, look, dude... What do you know? You just don't understand.
Should take actions to maximize its success and minimize its failures. And playing the blame...
But you're the success of Reddit is happening. The success of Reddit is happening irrespective of any of your actions.
Game for that doesn't work. It doesn't matter that it's my fault.
So he never addressed the question of whether or not Spez was massaging his shoulders. So I'd like to think that the CEO of Reddit was giving him a nice reach around as he signed that deal.
Because the company still suffers the negative consequences anyway. They suffer the...
I don't know. I don't blame Reddit for your decisions. You know, like if I post my balls on r/ratemyballs and then I get mad that people rate my balls, it's not Reddit's fault that there's a community for ball rating. It's my fault that I'm having my balls, like, I posted my balls online. I think this metaphor is falling apart.
reputational damage. They suffer some of the liability.
Could do better. Listen, my balls are at least an 8. Okay, my balls are like a hard 8. You know,
They suffer the harm to its users. Most of the bad things that come about as a result of my mistake don't affect me. They affect Reddit.
they don't affect Reddit though. If somebody clicks on a phishing link in Reddit, the only thing Reddit did is not improve its auto mod to snap that up. You know, it's like you did something. You the idea of getting the corporate shouldn't be involved in this decision. This is so like ridiculous. I've never. What is the opposite of like ANCAP? But also he wants like, it's like you want corporate welfare or something. I don't even know what to say.
As such, a company ought take actions to minimize such harm or mistakes.
Yes, so they should take actions to minimize scams, and they did take actions to minimize those things by reprimanding you and you getting slapped on the wrist for it. So you got slapped on the wrist, and bada bing, bada boom, that's the end of it. That's the answer.
Because they're the ones with the $50 billion company on the line, not me. I get to walk out of this with a laugh and some viral attention, which I clearly brought onto myself. I mean, I wouldn't have made a public video otherwise, although I wasn't.
Diesel, real question, Reddit mod son or Kendra daughter? So, like, the thing is that Kendra is a very multifaceted loon, okay? Like, a Reddit mod son is a very one-dimensional entity, okay? A Reddit mod son is a creature that goes on Reddit and posts, okay? And they think they're them. But a Kendra daughter not only believes the AI, but is also like a crystal chakra girly. I would take a crystal chakra daughter, but I would not take an AI is alive and tells me how to live daughter. Okay? So like I would want the chakra daughter, never a Reddit mod son, but then also not an AI daughter, you know? My fan on my camera? No, my fucking camera is just really hot today. Okay. Diesel, the Reddit mod or the Discord mod that you had fired? To be clear, you can't be fired from a position that you don't get paid to be in, all right? So your daughter is white regardless? Listen, man. I'm Puerto Rican. Either there's going to be another Latino in my life that causes me to have another Latino, or it's going to probably be a white person. Light-skinned, white-passing Latina. Can I get the contact for the Me Look lady? For the lady doing the orbology TikToks?
Quite expecting things to get this big.
And even if you did have access to lawyers and other brand deals, it wouldn't have prevented something like this.
I would much prefer my child receive. Sorry guys, sorry. I gotta enter my Luddite arc, but I would much prefer I have like my child take advice from a fortune cookie than from AI, okay? I would prefer if they got like some semblance of a philosophy from the various chakras that they consume, rather than somebody who got it through the sloppy sludge of a late stage capitalist dystopia, okay? Like ChatGPT can't say anything. It can only say the averages of what the collective has said, okay? Which it turns out the collective isn't very intelligent. So there's that. And yeah, fortune cookies sometimes have bars, okay? She's out of your league, brother. What if I had you rounded up by the mods and put in a fucking lock and stockade? How about that? How about I mods round up that chatter and put him into stockade? Nah, they're right though. Other mods round up Greg and put him into stockade too, next to the other guy. I'm eating right now. Is anybody willing to lock these individuals in the stockade?
From happening.
It would have helped because if there was a whole pipeline and process, I would have gone through those processes.
One pipeline or process. His entire answer to the Reddit mod equation is that he should just become like a Reddit mod on salary.
And then the vetting would have been done by Reddit itself.
Better odds at getting a fortune cookie company to be held accountable than an AI company if the advice is bad enough.
Not me.
Anyone who has ever visited LSF in the last 7 years will tell you it is not a subreddit for crazy, wacky clips of gaming and, stream fails or anything like that.
Your description of LSF.
Yeah, LSF is just I don't know, it's just a fucking drama subreddit, if we're being honest. But Reddit, Twitch streamer community crap, I don't know. He wants to make Reddit cops. That's actually the worst thing. All right? This is why I would rather have an AI psychosis daughter, okay? Because they're not trying to cause goose-stepping Reddit mods,
Is correct. Lately, there's been a lot of political drama that has pushed out other content. It's been such a big issue that I've been trying to think of solutions for months. But
Do you think he's like one of those plasma orbs that if you touch the weird smooth forehead, you'll see the little plasma beam? Yeah. I think if I touched them, my hair would stand up.
your response to me doesn't really make any sense. Let's use an example to explain why. Let's say I were to claim
Arcab, all Reddit cops are bastards.
I want to add more gaming clips to LSF. And someone were to respond to me by saying, what do you mean more gaming clips? LSF doesn't have any gaming clips. Well, my response to that response would be, yeah, you're right. That's why I want to add more gaming clips. You have noticed the problem. I have noticed the problem. And I want to take...
Do you think the comb over ever switches sides? No, if the comb over on Brian's head switches sides, it's like a light switch, and he turns into good Brian. Right? He forgot that it's on the evil Brian setting, and he needs to turn it over to the good Brian setting.
Take an action to fix it. Now, would clips from a live stream reality TV show do well in LSF, or would they just get downvoted into oblivion? I'm not really sure, but I don't think the topic is so far off or so crazy that it would be impossible for these types of clips to do well. It's worth it to try.
Obviously, things would already be being clipped and posted on the LSF subreddit. Why would you be reaching out about a collaboration to ensure that happens when you know for a fact it already would?
You are partially right. Some clips would get posted. Some might even do well.
That's true.
But you would be
Why do you need to actively participate in such a thing? This sounds like one of those things where the talent would carry it on its own. Why did LSF even need to be involved in this? The only reason that LSF would need to be involved in this if this was being done by idiots who don't understand streaming culture trying to finesse some money out of people.
surprised at how little clips get posted to LSF for how large of a subreddit it is. I counted, and as of this exact moment, there were 40 clips posted to LSF in the last 24 hours. That's not that many. My theory is, what if a dedicated editing team, or hell...
Diesel, who is worse, this guy or Pirate Software? I love it when I come... One of my favorite things about streaming about, internet news. Is that what I'm calling it now? Is that what we're doing? Is that the move for the dialogue in 2026? We're calling it that? But one of my favorite things about Clip that. I love it when I come. Wait, what did I just say? What did I say? What do you mean? What are all of you talking about? What are you fucking saying? Did I really say that, or are you all collectively fucking gaslighting me right now? Bro saying anything. Guys, I worked like a full fucking shift in retail. Give me a break. You actually said it. Sure, I guess I did. Sure. Streamer admits he comes, alright? God damn. God damn it. Alright. Anyway, what I was saying. When I talk about like things that are happening online or just things that are happening in the world, right? And you guys come here and you ask me, Diesel, who would win in a fight? The corpse of Charlie Kirk or Franz Ferdinand? Or like, Diesel, who would win in a battle? Pirate Software or the fucking guy who suffocated to death at the hands of a plastic furry toy? Or like, Diesel, who would win it? Like, the amount of chats I've gotten in my time as a streamer power scaling the various people that I cover on stream is like insane. I don't even know how to power scale these things or buying indulgences. Okay, all right. No. While I'm here, let's talk. Let me pull the chat, okay? Chat, do we know what an indulgence is? Do we know what indulgences are? Too Mad versus the furry choker. Too Mad versus Diesel versus Chud Logic. Who would win? Well, that's just not even a fight. You know, you can't get, if you just get two guys that talk into a microphone at an audience that hates them, that's just a podcast. You know, it doesn't matter the scenario. That is a podcast. Who would you prefer in a forest, a bear or a Reddit bot? Okay. No. We need to talk about indulgences, okay? This is the clip. I love it when I come. One of my favorite things about streaming. That is so fucking getting clipped for a million years, isn't it? I love it when I come. I can't believe that. Okay, but indulgences. All right. Yes, pay for your sins to go away, gang. Yes. So I was asking the question, right? Do you need to buy an indulgence? I was trying to like meta my way out of sin. All right. So let's say hypothetically, chat, that you are going to sit down for the evening and there's two people that are having sex. Okay. They're just two people. And you sit down and you watch those two people having sex. Is that a sin? Okay? Is it a sin to just watch it? Diesel, I'll introduce you to the Vatican too. Yes. Being a cuck is a sin. No. I'm not talking about cucking. You're like, let's say you're going to the movies, right? Let's say you're going to the movies. All right. And then there's two people having sex on the screen, okay? You're not jerking off to those people. You're just watching. You got like popcorn and a drink, you know, you got a sody pop and you're drinking and you're just watching. Like, you're not gooning or anything. You're just there. Right? Like, you're just present in the space. Like being a peeking Tom. It's a peeping Tom, but if you're finding arousal or pleasure, it's a sin. No. You don't get any pleasure or arousal. You're just there, right? And I'm not arguing whether or not you're a pervert. I'm not arguing whether or not you're a pervert or if that's not a weird thing to do, right? I'm arguing whether or not it's a sin or not. Okay? Because it's a sin to covet thy neighbor's wife, and it's a sin to commit adultery. But is it a sin to simply be in the room when a man and a woman are having sex? Or a man and a man? I don't know. Me? Like, for like, let's say you're like it's just like right before, you're like you're at the ye old medieval inn, and you can pay $5 for a ticket to watch the sex, and then you just go in and you're just watching, but like it's a sin if you jerk off, and it's a sin if you let another man sleep with your wife. If you're keeping score, I think you have to bring it up a confession. You're going to hell, Diesel. Yes. Well, honestly, the thing is though, right, is that you could just buy an indulgence, and then it's all good, right? So like, if it is a sin, you just bribe the church. But if it's not a sin, then we don't want to waste money on an indulgence, right? So I'm not arguing whether or not this is ethical or moral, or whether or not this makes you a certified freak or a pervert, because you're not fucking jerking off. You're just like eating food, You're just like, you're having your nightly, you're like watching a movie, Is paying for the show the indulgence? Well, it will be if it is. If you watch premarital sex, that's a sin. So you're watching a sin, meaning you sin. But if you just watch a marital sex act, that's not a sin. So you're not watching a sin. That's what I was thinking. So if it's, let's assume it's marital sex for this hypothetical, okay? Let's say it's marital sex for this hypothetical, and you're just watching. Not like as a voyeur or as like a peeping Tom. Are we supposing that old indulgences are still being offered? Dude, I know this is completely clip farming, by the way. This is all to explain indulgences. I was trying to like figure out if there's like a way to like I was trying to loophole sin. I was trying to find a loophole in sin. And we had like a big debate about this in like the Discord VC, like fucking 2 nights ago. Yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday. We were debating this very hotly, and we basically came to the conclusion it's not a sin if you're not a cuck and you're not jerking off and you're simply watching, okay, for like a platonic, non-erotic reason. Sounds more like you were trying to explain your weekend. I wasn't. I don't get out that much, so, But I was trying to figure out at what point does it become a sin. So it's like, you just ride that line between sin and no sin. Yeah, I was having a debate with myself for educational purposes. Like, actually, I simply brought this up. I brought this up simply for the philosophical battle I would engage in within my own mind, In my mind palace, in my autistic mind palace, I wanted to figure out whether or not I could beat God at his own game. I dare I say it, I had the hubris to try and min-max my way out of sin. Basically, how many minutes in a porno theater does it take before it becomes a sin? Well, I feel like is that what they call a debate pervert? They used to have a dude watch the newlywed king and queen consummate the marriage. Checkmate, atheist. So yeah, that's another part of it that also like adds to it, I'm just asking questions. I'm asking the questions we're too afraid to ask. Diesel, it's called pilpul, and the Jews have done it for centuries. How does consent factor into it? The two people know you're there. They're cool with it. The two other people are cool with it. They don't care either which way. You know, you're like a bird, okay? You're like a bird on the windowsill watching this event unfold. Yes, but the king and queen were holy. Diesel is just a peasant. So what if a peasant watches the other peasants do it? Then is it a sin? Like, what is the... I'm trying to find a particular scenario that gets you out of having to go to confession. All right? I'm trying to avoid going to confession. Are you watching, or are you politely pretending nothing is happening? No, you listen, if two people are having sex in front of you, you can't pretend. I'm not going to go, what's that over there? I'm not looking. God. If you're free to leave and don't, it's a sin. If you can't leave freely, it's not a sin. But then the question is, if free will doesn't exist, then are you still a sinner in this scenario? So like, if I don't leave, it's a sin, but that's not a sin I've ever heard of. You're not jerking off and you're not being a voyeur. You're simply watching. Like, being a voyeur implies that you get some area. Are you taking notes during this, or is this just a viewing session? Ask Grok. I think I'll refrain from asking Grok. You know, like in this scenario, do I also have to be like stuck here? I have to like be glued. Like, I sit down in a chair to like get my Gatorade, and then I get glued to the chair. You're not avoiding temptation, and thereby you would be considered to be sitting. But what if I'm not tempted by it? What if it doesn't tempt me? What if a babbling brook in the woods is my temptation? What if that really gets me going? But people having sex doesn't. So then would I be committing sin? I don't think so, because I'm not tempted by it. You know, I'm just describing, I'm just there. Diesel, just go to the confessional. I'm talking hypothetically, not for me personally. What if the people are unappealing and Diesel isn't tempted? See, these are all good questions. No, I'm using the babbling brook. I'm using the babbling brook as an example. I think you are in soaking territory. Where are you trying to debate pervert your way out of this? You are literally in the headspace of the soaker. Killjoy, if it wasn't for the fact that I understood every single line in that sentence, it would be a completely incomprehensible statement. Like, you need to understand Mormons. Okay, you need to understand I'm obsessed with Mormons. You need to understand what a debate pervert is, and you need to understand my indulgences. My indulgences thing. I can't go around recommending this channel to others IRL. Why would you ever do that? God. Are you asking for that for your incel friend that you recently got in contact with? No. I haven't spoken to my incel friend in like a good 2 months. We said like Happy New Year to each other, and that was it. Oh my God. Consult your doctor if you have a babbling brook that gets you going. Yeah, so like the Mormon thing is soaking. Like, soaking is not like a loophole, right? Because I feel like some of these things like were loopholes. Like people find out loopholes in the text, right? And then after they figure out the loophole, some guy who's like, I'm a religious leader is like, actually, no, that's not how this works. You're wrong. But it's like, maybe he's just like, maybe that guy's wrong. Maybe that guy is the real, like, he got. Like, you got owned in the marketplace of ideas. So maybe you have to sit down, buddy. All right? Pope Schmope. All right? Sometimes you're wrong. Sometimes soaking's okay. There's nothing in the Book of Mormon that says you can't soak. So therefore, soaking must be okay. We're getting really off topic. I'm not here to defend the concept of soaking. I think soaking is just having sex very badly, but you know, I've got to posit these questions because these are questions I don't think society is asking, you know. Yeah, follow these rules like this. No, not like that. What the fuck is soaking? We're not getting into it today. We're not getting into the soaking discussion. Ergo, so yeah, I'm not trying to justify soaking. I'm simply trying to justify, you know, watching some medieval brain rot before bed, you know. No. The babbling brook was just an example, okay? It was not where we need to be dedicating our energy right now. We don't have time for soaking content. All right, look, all right. Some of you guys are okay. Some of you guys get it. Some of you are on my wavelength, but some of you just aren't. You're not there mentally, and that's fine. It's fine if you're not at the same place as me mentally. Not everybody could be as smart as me, okay?
One guy spent full time trying to find good clips, titling them correctly, and posting them to LSF. Could one guy find and edit 40 clips a day for a week and then post them to LSF, outnumbering all of the rest?
Did you do a land acknowledgement on the babbling brook?
Of the users combined? Maybe. That is, of course, a very extreme example to demonstrate a point. A better number would be more like 4 a day. And what's 4 divided by 40? Well, that's 10%. I think that would be noticeable.
Why, though? LSF best clip is just the best clip from the event. Why does LSF's name need to be attached to it? I just don't even get this stretch goal here.
Let me pitch you the idea more directly, because I think it could be very funny. I don't mean a couple people find the best clips that happen on the show. Instead, I mean that there would be a ton.
Justifying a sin. Let's be anal about it. Trying to find a loophole is going against the Lord's will. Okay, no. But, like, here's the thing. I'm not trying to justify it. There simply wasn't an answer for my question. And if we're being literal about it, there's nothing against it. Ergo, there's no sin. I'm not trying to justify the sin. There's no sin to begin with. Nobody said I couldn't. And nobody said it is a sin. And I'm not doing any of the things that would make it a sin. Okay? I don't meet the criteria for sin. So I don't even need to justify it. I just have to justify it because some of you guys are being pedantic Andes. All right? You're the people who are trying to debate pervert me. Let's be clear here. Okay? I've been very clear on my position. Yeah, being anal about it is the loophole. Exactly.
Timed competition where streamers.
Bro's just trying to get jutsu himself into not being a sinner. I'm not trying to unsinify myself. Like, feel like God's okay with it, like deep in your heart. I think God would be on the same page as me. I think I would meet all the criteria, you know? I think I would meet all the criteria. If I don't have like a direct contact with the big man himself and I have to go off of the word, you know? Dude, this is what Martin Luther put all those things on the fucking door for, right? This is What if this is actually Diesel's kink and he's making us unwilling participants? I think I'm clearer than most streamers.
Compete to create clips on the fly, post them to LSF, and whoever could farm the subreddit the best wins. Let me brainstorm a couple
Somebody's
of
trying to clip chimp and farm a subreddit sounds like a really terrible scenario. We shouldn't... Listen, the commodification of posting has been an issue, okay? How do you think people were having sex back in the day? Jesus's day when people lived in one-room huts and small tents. Yeah, you just kind of, like, if you weren't interested, you just had to, like, plug your ears and go la 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 la.
examples to show why this could be very funny. What if Extra Emily purposely runs a red light and crashes a car? What if somebody gets a shot collar while wearing a Che Guevara t-shirt and then shocks somebody who's wearing a dog furry outfit?
Why are you describing such things in such intense detail, Brian?
Heck, put them together. Extra Emily crashes a car into the furry. And I think streamers could come up with some ideas that are a lot more than the ones that I just did.
Who got a refund? I haven't seen anyone, posting receipts of getting a refund from the money they spent on this. Where are you getting that information from? That's a genuine question.
So here's the why did this guy why did he twist his nuts backwards on the stream about it? Why did he do all this? He's of course Critical didn't see any of that because you hoarded the information, you fucking stupid.
The $1 million fan situation. I realize that I clearly don't have all the information, so I don't want to comment on it that much. That being said, I did have a new piece of information available to show. The company
So either you didn't have it that last time, or you did, and you just decided not to show it. But this is private things that you didn't give or post ever until this time. So it's it can't even be that Critical's wrong because you didn't show the information.
has given me a redacted and time-stamped refund that you can see right here.
Diesel, are you into Gundam? Yes, I am into Gundam. I have many a Gundam. I have many models of the RX-78 on my bookshelf behind me.
Additionally, they say this is all they can provide right now given user privacy laws.
It's not that nobody notices, it's that nobody's happy about it, where they can hide certain things or boost certain things. That's a bad thing. Everyone knows that it exists, and everyone knows that there is.
Yeah, pay for post is a huge fucking issue. Undisclosed advertisements are an issue, all right? These things are an issue on Twitter. Twitter is rampant with those things. People's opinions and audiences are for sale like crazy in a way they never have before. We've weaponized the internet and turned it into a tool of mass social manipulation. Why do we need to be bringing it to our fucking subreddits where we all kind of have a goof at Extra Emily running a red light?
Actual power in that. I don't think anyone actually disputes that.
Hey, I'm glad it's obvious to you too.
The refunds were 1/12/26. When was Brian's first video? Let's find out. Four days ago.
Hello, Spez, Mr. CEO of Reddit.
Hello, Spaz, Mr. CEO of Reddit. The 16th. So either he had them and then didn't share them, or he didn't get them until later and then chose not to share them even when asked by people publicly. Did you see Elon might be making ratios on Twitter monetized? I don't think Elon realizes what he's doing by making ratios monetized on Twitter, okay? Because we might actually make Connor Eats Pants a billionaire, all right, if he keeps fucking ratioing to vice president. That's a kind of power that I don't think that Elon Musk realizes he's giving Connor Eats Pants. For as performative male as the guy can be, he sure can ratio a JD Vance.
But when I said Reddit moderators have power in my deadpan moderator voice, a lot of people made fun of me for it. But perhaps the perception of the egotistical Reddit moderator who looks funny and takes his unpaid janitorial duties way too seriously was too much for people to look past, and they couldn't see the truth of the matter. I'm not happy about it either. That is in fact exactly why I made these videos. People who are looking at me in horror or laughter or pity should ask themselves what that says about the $50 billion platform that is Reddit.
I don't understand why the whole monetary angle is brought up in here. Like, I think, okay, look, dare I defend a corporation here? Just because they're valued at $50 billion doesn't mean they have $50 billion in the bank account to be handing you, Mr. Reddit moderator.
Every insult that you have against me about how I'm incompetent, about how I'm biased, egotistical, power hungry, etc., all that. And ask yourself, how does that make you feel about Reddit, knowing that I was able to control one of the top subreddits on the platform for over a year with borderline dictatorial powers, doing who knows what that you'll never find out about. And
We should be more careful with what we say. Oh, brother. You'll never find out about how I was a manic dictator on Reddit. Well, you do not want to play so lightly with that, my friend. Oh, boy.
and then realize I am the bull in the china shop. I'm telling you these things directly. Forget about me. Think about all the other
Yeah, now people made it their mission.
subreddits that exist. Think about how you have no idea who they are, what they're doing, and every time somebody like me gives you a peek under the curtain, society
That's not what that means, bro. Dude, I'm the bull in the china shop. It means that I'm reading the ledgers. It means that I'm looking at what they're selling. I'm looking at how the meat is made. That's not what a bull in a china shop means. It means you're destroying everything.
gawks at the insanity of all of it.
Yeah, this guy basically willed into existence that everybody will be chasing down all of his information. Like, he did that to himself.
You are a moderator in a subreddit. Why are you chasing down brand partnerships and collaborations, buddy?
I mean, you're an influencer with a platform. Why do you do it? You could say,
There's a very different level here. These are very different things. There is no universe or way comparable that a Reddit mod and an influencer are the same thing, okay?
a personal enrichment, but you don't strike me as somebody who's completely motivated by money. I could imagine you doing a brand
No, well, somebody hasn't paid attention to Mr. Moist Critical's uploads in a while now, has he?
deal or partnership, not for money, but just with a group that you think is cool for your community, or maybe you just want to. And Reddit is a platform, like any other platform, and moderators are in charge of it.
Charlie turned off his monetization.
I know this is rare and nobody does this stuff. That's my entire point. Reddit as a platform is underutilized. So just like you might utilize
Guys, Reddit could be making more billions of dollars. The $50 billion corporation needs me, because I could turn that into $100 billion. The capital evaluation of Reddit.com is severely under-recognized. We could go to the moon if I was in charge of Reddit.
your platform, why can't moderators? You brought up examples of
I'm sorry, if I use, okay, imagine if you were on r/yarn, okay, r/knitting, and you needed information on knitting. They probably have like a big mega thread on knitting information. Do you realize how unhelpful that would be if I go to r/knitting, check out their mega thread to get started with knitting, and every single thing they recommend is a branded sponsor from the mods, so that way the mods could be enriched? Then I'm not going to get the best or most equitable option. I'm not going to get the thing that's going to help me the most. I'm going to get what personally enriches a fucking Reddit moderator. People don't like to be advertised to. They especially don't want to find out they're being stealth advertised to. It tends to annoy them.
Conflicts of interest. Well, let's do the same thing again.
People would likely stop using Reddit. Yeah, nothing would turn me off of using a subreddit more than like that. Like if I use those subreddits for information that's necessary to learn things. Reddit's really good for that. So if everything I'm recommended, which Reddit already has this problem because they keep using AI bots to train everything on Reddit. So we end up with all these undisclosed ads on Reddit from all these marketing campaigns that are happening guerrilla style on Reddit. That's annoying. People hate that already. They would hate that more if moderators were doing it.
What do you do about
This guy would ban bots like that from LSF. So why is it any different?
conflicts of interest? A company could work with you, and you could also be incentivized to, I don't know, not say something bad about them or cover some drama involving them. The reality is conflicts of interest are everywhere in life. It's good to be aware of them. It's good to minimize risks associated with them. But I don't see why Reddit is so sacrosanct of a platform that it's different from any other platforms where conflicts of interest exist.
No, it's not about. Does this guy not understand that the rampant monetization of everything on the internet? And I know that I deliberately benefit from this system that I am complaining about. Oh, you live in society and let you complain about it. Yes, I do. All right, fucking sit in line with the rest of the annoying fuck asses behind you. But like, the internet has already been ruined by all these fucking advertisements and stealth marketing and pay for opinion type shit. And we're like, Twitter is the worst example, right? It's like loaded with tons of posts that are paid for. You could get a corporation to pay tons of people to sway political discourse in America. You could do that. It's a problem. Why the fuck should we bring that to Reddit? I can see nothing but bad things from that. If everyone's opinion is for sale, then nobody has anything genuine to say. Nobody has anything genuine to make. And honestly, we should all stop interacting online. I can't believe that we would exist in an internet that is nothing but ads. The degradation of the internet from the 90s and 2000s to now is crazy. This guy's my age, and he must have not been terminally online like I was. Because I remember a time when people would just post things online because they love to just post things, and they were just animated about things they love. Now everything's a fucking way to make money and become a fucking millionaire. And trust me, I'm part of the system. I'm clearly doing it too. Obviously. But like, fucking Christ, it's like he just like woke up one day and decided to become a part of the internet. Stupid. I'm gonna make a Wojak. Oh my god.
I throw you money because I like you and how you stream, Diesel.
Thank you, philosopher. I'm just kind of here, you know. Low-key miss pop-up ads. I would prefer a pop-up ad versus ChatGPT stealthily putting an ad in the question I asked it. Like, imagine if you ask, like, I'm Googling and learning a lot about skincare right now, okay? Imagine, like, if I asked ChatGPT for an answer and it only gave me sponsored answers. That might put me in a dangerous position. It might only sell me something that ruins my skin. That's horrible.
I guess for Reddit moderators, we're representing other people. We don't truly own the platform, so maybe it's more important for us to be unbiased compared to other platforms, I guess.
Does he just not understand Reddit moderator culture? Does he not understand moderator culture? You know, he's talking about it like moderators... Like I don't understand. It's always been that moderating has been a volunteer thing. You know, if you tried to do something like this on Something Awful, you'd be kicked off the site. You'd be kicked off. People would fucking hate you. They would mock you. If you tried to do this on like one of the old school forums from back in the day, people would laugh you out of the room. If you were a moderator on Reset Era and you tried to market to them, they'd all fucking yell at you. What are you talking about? Granted, I guarantee you this guy has never used a forum. I just named 2 forums. I guarantee you he's never used either of them. NeoGAF? Come on, imagine you're a moderator on NeoGAF and you tried to market a game to people in a sponsored post. Fucking, you'd piss everybody off.
But man, if we're worried about bias, I can
Dude, you go to watch a Newgrounds animation and then it cuts to a Raid Shadow Legends ad in the middle of the video.
promise you that there are way bigger fish to fry in terms of how biased moderators are allowed to be, that I'm not sure that brand deals for community events is really the biggest danger out there. But sure, it's something to look out for.
LiveJournal would evaporate this man. I mean, all the examples we're giving are like things that he would have had to have been like way older to have used. Like me even referencing them, like, yeah, I'm already like approaching like, that's like approaching geriatric internet user status by this point, right? But like, I can't imagine. Dude, you'd go on like a Vampire the Masquerade roleplay forum, okay, where you'd connect through AIM, all right? So that way you could talk in character. Imagine if White Wolf or whatever the studio that owned VTM back then, they were paying a moderator for a post. Insane.
There are no qualifications to be a Reddit mod.
You're right.
That's true. Well,
There aren't any qualifications, but maybe there should be. Maybe because
maybe there should be. And you'd pass those qualifications? Because I don't think so.
there are no such qualifications, this is why we're seeing all the problems that we see.
Dude, it is such a shame. The internet used to be such a dense place filled with such vibrance. It's like 5 websites now, and 4 out of the 5 of them are trying to rage bait you. And then the other 5 out of the 5 are trying to manipulate you, so you spend all of your time just watching brain rot on there.
It seems like you're trying to have this every way past Sunday without realizing that the premises that you've agreed to lead to a conclusion.
Dude, imagine being paid to RP Vampire the Masquerade, though. That's kind of what I do, though. You know, with the store and all that, so that is kind of what it is.
These facts that we have agreed on are that Reddit is a $50 billion company that moderators have power over. Maybe not as much power as an overly invested...
Apparently this guy was a known entity on VR chat. I'm sure he was... Dude, he was going to the Hypnotist Sappho meetup inside VR chat. He would go to the furry yoga.
Egotistical
I've always been afraid to use VR chat. I don't know why. Something about it just scares me to like use, because I'd be like it's one thing to talk to an internet stranger via like a message, but like if I have to like stare at like Ugandan Knuckles and he's like, yeah, man, so honestly the living crisis is really bad right now, and I'm like looking down at him, I'd just be like, what the fuck am I doing with my life?
power mod as myself might like to believe.
I thought you haven't made a profit from your business though. I haven't. I wish. I like to think that eventually it is all going to pay off, and it is, but like not right now.
But power nonetheless. And most Reddit moderators are completely unqualified.
You know that you could get raped in there. Talk about a callback.
Biased.
That you know what's crazy, Weaver, is that's 2 years ago now. That was 2 years ago that all started. We are that far removed, okay? Joe Biden was the president when that happened.
Power hungry, and are doing a bad job, and Reddit isn't doing anything to fix it. Maybe it should. As for me,
Context hat, I require context.
I'm out of ideas. My solutions are bad and didn't work. But I see a problem. I see
The fuck, it's been 2 years? Yeah, that's when it started, 2 years ago. He came back a year later. That's
effect it has, and I don't know how to fix it. So if anybody else has any idea about how to fix this, please say so. You might be surprised as to who listens. Thank you.
damn. The longest 2 years ever. Yeah. Dude, he did a Trench Crusade song.
prayers, the sound
This is very cringe, by the way. This is the direct antithesis of Trench Crusade.
fill air. Antioch stands strong together.
Yeah, it's AI.
Faith and fire, we fight with
Weed was inflatable furry. God, so long ago. No, the diaper furry is different from the inflatable guy. So he wants people to tell him how to fix something that most of us don't think is a problem? Yes. That was a short something, yeah. Let's see what else is here. The Vosh Manifesto. Gordon Ramsay selects a special guest.
And the guests I hold
Oh, this is just a
the
clip.
highest esteem. They are
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Bonus, bonus, bonus.
Did I watch this one? I don't even remember watching.
Seaweed, seaweed, seaweed. Bonus, bonus, bonus. Seaweed, seaweed, seaweed. Can you believe these streamers advertising gambling to children? They always
Did I watch this one? I feel like I did.
play up their big wins, which makes it seem like to their audience that they could actually come out ahead. The expected value is clearly negative. I also heard that some of these sites are poorly regulated. It's one thing to do something for entertainment. It's quite enough to pretend like you can make money off of it. Now, back to our regularly scheduled activities, audience. Let's see what we got here. It's a holographic
Oh, I did watch this. I did watch
first
it.
edition forest, worth $1 million, PSA 10, yeah! This could be you kids. You could be like me.
So I will say this. I've people open up cards in my card packs in my store. I think I did watch this. Okay, I forgot. All right. Also, his hair is disgusting here. It's fucking disgusting. Shave your fucking head. But I've been standing in, or not even standing. I've been sitting in my store, and people will open up cards in front of me. And I had a guy open up a $150 card from a pack in front of me. No cameras around or nothing. He just did. So like, honestly, your odds of winning and gambling are probably better with Pokemon than an online like casino, because they designed those systems deliberately so that way even if you win, the house doesn't have to pay you out. Okay, if you like figure out a way and you learn the game well enough that you try to make a winning on DraftKings, DraftKings can ban your account and then not pay you the winnings. So if you like bet $1 million and then you win back like a lot, it doesn't even matter because they just might screw you over anyway. So like, yeah, gambling's bad. I can't even tell if you're doing like I can't even tell if this is a real argument or a bit, but like online gambling is way worse. Gamer Soap pitch meeting.
And the next item we have on the list for the Committee on Selling Overpriced Items to Gamers is
Dude, he was in college when this was happening, or tech school, or whatever the fuck he was doing.
Gamer Soap. It's soap, but for gamers. Soap for gamers? Yep.
This is who he portrays in VR chat. So these are the... Wait a second. How did you find these? Please tell me how you found these. Hold on. I need to look this up. Interesting. What? What is this? The Riley Knox portrayed by Stale 2000. Riley Knox is a prominent human product manager at Talaris Corporation and former individual contributor to Magic Research of the company. And then the social links are... What is this?
So, let's see here.
Man, you can kill the Scarlet Reaper, but the Reaper never dies, huh? Not saying this guy is like Scarlet, by the way. I just do think it's funny that this is the second time VR chat has come up. Yeah, he's just a lame guy in VR chat in like some roleplay server. So this is a VR chat legends wiki? What the fuck is this wiki? Clips. Gosh dang it, Riley. Let's see. One of my that's my clip of me.
Robots and stuff? What are they? Alright, what are these robots?
I said if there's ever like giant flies that attack us, I'll make sure to call you first.
That's a little bit intolerant, don't you think so, Mr. Riley? He's clearly an alien, not just a big frog.
Perhaps I will speak with your CEO and see if I can purchase you. See what I can cook up from your flesh.
All right. I am gonna. Sorry, Diesel's gonna be a little woke. That is not Hypnotist Sappho.
Profusely apologize for his behavior. He spoke entirely out of turn.
You can't eat it out.
I appreciate
Unfortunately, you can't eat that one. Come on, let's go.
Did you admit to wanting to eat?
Yes.
All right, this is very cringe. I think we can all admit that. We're all sitting here and we're all thinking it's cringe, okay? I know. But you know what? Whatever. If they're enjoying themselves and they're having a good time, if they want to do like a live action role play but do it in VR chat, go right ahead. That sounds great. As long as you're having fun and you're happy. All right?
He did say that, but only because...
Like, cause I run a lot of D&D games, you know. I can't like mock people for something like this. I've done plenty of cringier stuff. Or like I've thought about going to a LARP because I thought it would be fun. It just feels a little bit more active to be outside and do it. I think I would much rather use VR chat as like a social space rather than like a play pretend space. I like doing D&D in person because there's a little bit of more thespianness to it. This is how rape happens.
Mr. Riley was very casually racist against him.
Oh, dude.
Oh, what's that?
Brian's going to prison, dude. He was casually racist. Dude, this guy has like giga subs, dude. This guy's making a living wage fucking streaming this stuff. Okay? This guy's like an actual streamer guy that he showed up. Oh, shit.
Ooh. Oh!
I said if...
Strange. There's apparently one more that he played as well. Hold on. Garth Gunn. Garth Gunn claims he escaped from Avalon Mental Hospital, has been drifting around Scrap Town for a couple days. He shares an eerie resemblance to Jimmy Young, though says that this is entirely coincidental. This is lame, but you know what? Good for them. Good for them. I can't even like poo-poo on somebody for doing this.
They've upgraded the place since I was last here. I guess maybe the construction was done.
What on earth is this whole thing? So it appears that he was a character in like a digital LARP. He was like... Yeah, he was a character in a digital LARP. A digital live action roleplay. There's a world where this took off from him and he's happy. Yeah, his character does look like a Mormon. Fucking the Mormon... Okay, let's be real, guys. The Mormons would be the ones that get the space, right? Like a Mormon missionary on an alien planet. We can all see it. All right? I'm pretty sure there's like a sci-fi setting where that happens. Okay? Why does he LARP as a normal man? I don't know. Soaking ain't a sin on the moon. uh, is there no other clips?
I ran away. I was in a mental hospital, and I escaped
Why is he playing like a twink? He's playing like a VR chat
from
twink.
the city to go down here.
You remind me of someone I'm seen around before. Doesn't he, Willie? Were all my eyes tricking me?
Yeah, he looks a bit like, Jimothy.
No relation, but yeah, I did meet. Yeah, no relation at all.
Okay, no long lost brother.
You're taller.
I'm sorry, that other guy stands like he is so in character. Like that other like Unk character, the scrap Unk over there. That guy's like embodying the character right now. Like he's in VR chat, like living that character. This is how D&D looks to me, by the way. Exactly why I can't sit here and mock this, right? Because like, if I'm doing a voice like this, people are gonna think that maybe I'm a little cringe. You know, I hear that you got one Jimothy in the sink and two in the pink and blah blah blah.
Maybe I am. Well, actually, I haven't talked to him very much. Maybe I'll have to talk to him.
Oh.
Dude, he's not able to be in it.
He was with the Union too, actually.
Oh yeah, he's still suckling their teeth, so to speak. I'm trying
He's
real
like the
hard to
opposite.
break him of it.
He's like the opposite of me. He's not very tough. I'm very tough.
Okay.
Yeah, you look it.
See, but you're good at it and conventionally attractive. I know. The only thing separating Critical Role from Cringical Role, that was a bad joke. But like them being attractive definitely helps, okay? Diesel VA arc win. I'm waiting for the call, man. I'm waiting for the call. I have been plying away at that in private. It's just I have so many things to do. I need to finish this fucking book or I'm going to explode. I need to finish this goddamn book so I can move on with my fucking life as an artist. That's what I would have done if I didn't stream tonight. But Hal yelled at me and she was like, Diesel, Rome was not built in a day. Go stream. And I was like, okay. Good. I know I've put in my 2 cents on it before. Yeah, I know. I am plying away on it, but I don't want to rest. Here's something. I know. Here's the thing. Let me say something. Okay. Yang Ye. I feel that Yang Ye became Kiryu because he is a YouTuber. And I know he says that is not the case. But every time I hear Yang Ye and something, I'm just like, that's Yang Ye, the YouTuber. I'd like to get good at acting because I want to rest not on the laurels of my YouTube career, but to be good enough that I get in the room. So I don't want to be me when I do it because I want to be able to stand on my own for that. But that's just my feeling on it. And also, I think it's a good test for myself. I think I should be able to challenge myself. I think I get handed a lot of things as a YouTuber, so I want to be able to prove that I can do something irrespective of that. You know, that's why I'm writing a book or like I'm doing other things because I want to be able to do it on my own. You know. He doesn't know how to emote. Yeah. I need to take acting classes, but I don't have time. I don't have time. I'm taking like online classes for some other stuff, but it's like work related. And so I have like no free time. Dude, I really should have been like min-maxing during the pandemic, dude. But yeah, that's it. That's it for today. I'm gonna go to bed. It's 10:50 and I need to get up fucking early in the morning. The art student returns to art class, many such cases. Fuck you. That's so true though. I'm not even gonna lie.